So last night, the finale for Legends of Tomorrow Season 6 premiered. So today I thought it was time for me to stop and review Legends of Tomorrow Season 6. Please note everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My name is SWNation and you are free to comment down below your very own opinion on Legends of Tomorrow Season 6, the finale, and also the season as a whole. Please note that the first half of this video is just going to be a recap of the finale. Time codes are going to be down in the description, and the latter half is going to be a review of the entire season. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. And also don't forget to check out that Arrowverse playlist up above. With that being said, let's move right into our recap. So we kick off the episode with the explosion from last week's episode of McRory, with him trying to pick up the eggs. You remember everybody was trying to pick up the eggs. And yeah, he survives. A lot of people thought that he was going to die. A lot of people thought it was going to be very ironic if he died from fire, but fortunately, he survived. And apparently, they're all family now. So him and Kayla and the 47 eggs, they're all family now with the Legends. And that's what they call themselves now. Astra then begins to talk about Constantine's death. We'll get into that later. Cut to Spooner. She's sick in bed, dying because she is connected to the fountain with her mother by her side. And then this is where a lot of unimportant things happen. It's just a regular Legends episode. In order to keep this recap very brief, I'm just gonna jump to a scene that happens right after the title. So the title card happens. Bayrod alerts the team with Constantine and the mushroom situation because he takes a bite of the mushroom because he wants to use it for drugs. So then he realized that Constantine is inside of the mushroom. He begins to talk to Bayrod and give Bayrod some ideas about how to, stop the alien threat. And then Bayrod comes to the team about that. That's when Nate comes up with an idea to go back in time and get a younger, less evil bishop. So Nate and Ava then go to the future to recruit a less evil bishop in the process of building and programming Ava. So he is the builder of Ava's, if you did not know that. So Sarah takes a trip to see Constantine by eating the mushroom. He's now this angel figure for the fountain now, so apparently he's not dead. So then she comes to the team and says, "We're all connected." That line will make sense later inside of the future. After this, the less evil younger bishop is able to awaken Spooner, and after this, the alien pods begin dropping in front of the house where Spooner and her mother lived in the 1920s. So I just basically summed up 20 minutes of what this episode was. So in the midst of this, Sarah asks Ava to marry her. They're at the house. Ava speaks reasonably because she wants to get this threat taken care of. Then they can relax and have an actual wedding, have everyone there. But Sarah just wants a wife. So the team prepares for the wedding before the war. That's what they call it. They call it a wedding before war. Ava and Gary share a very great scene. I like the fact that Gary, talks to Ava about Ava not being prepared for this, because obviously who would be prepared for a wedding before a war? Well, after this, the wedding starts. All of the Legends are there, including Kayla and Mick. I thought it was a very great ceremony. The only way the Legends can do it. But before they can say "I do," Bishop interrupts the ceremony. The team gets ready to fight some aliens, but then they get overpowered by them. But then we find out that Spooner can exchange powers between the team. So now she has some abilities from the fountain since her and the fountain were connected. Spooner transfers someone like Sarah's ability to Astra because Astra got bit, so she needed to heal. Ava and Sarah get to say their I do's because before they die, they want to officially get married. They didn't get officially married. They just had the ceremony. They never said I do'd yet. So when they say I do, they have their kiss. And the power of Sarah and Ava's kiss, this is how the scene goes. The power of Sarah and Ava's kiss was so strong that it sent out an energy field that wiped out all of the aliens and left the aliens running, going back to their home planet, or just dying, getting vaporized. That's how the scene goes. But then they write it off as it was the fountain. The fountain is the reason why the aliens left. So their kiss activated the fountain between all of them. So their love, the fountain loves love. That's what they say inside of the episode. The fountain loves love, and it essentially shoots up into the air, creates an energy field, and then the aliens are destroyed by it. That's what it's written off as. So after this, Bishop comes down and he decides he wants to kill everybody else except for Sarah. Mick's and Kayla's eggs hatch, And when they hatch, little baby aliens come out. They're all little so cute. They're squirming around. And then they climb upon Bishop's body and they eat him. So then after this, Zari 2.0 meets up with Constantine. They exchange a couple of words. And then Constantine assures her that he is now leaving the Legends family. Mick and Sarah back at the house. They didn't talk about their past. So Mick leaves the Legends family. He stays behind with Kayla to help raise the alien babies. And now Sarah is the only original Legend now. And it's very, sad to see the fact that every original Legend is not here anymore. We don't have the original Legends anymore. Adam isn't here. Hawkman Hawkgirl isn't here. Firestorm isn't here. So then after, Mick leaves the team, they're walking back to the Wave Rider. Another Wave Rider just pops out of nowhere, pops out of the temporal zone, and destroys our Wave Rider. So one Wave Rider just flies out of nowhere, drops a bomb on our team's Wave Rider, and then flies back into the timeline. And then the team just watches as not another threat. Like, that's basically their attitude towards this. Oh, come on, not another threat. And then the episode ends, leaving us with a month and 8 days to go for season 7 of Legends of Tomorrow, thus ending our recap for the season 6 finale of Legends of Tomorrow. I know this one was a lot shorter than the other recaps, but there wasn't a lot of things that happened inside of this episode. It was pretty straightforward. With that being said, let's move right into our season review. And the good thing that comes to mind here is that this season manages to up the weirdness in its own unique way. I don't think it's as weird as season 4, but it is more contained than that. It is some more contained weirdness. You have aliens, using Earth as bowling balls. You have some interesting concepts, and the story of aliens across, time is actually pretty interesting to me. I love that. Like I said, you have an alien bowling with planet Earth. You have an animated episode inside of this season. You also have aliens that's using secret sauce on burgers to make people turn into zombies, essentially. You have all of these little invasion style concepts, and I think all of that works inside of this season. And I think that no other show can really do that except Legends. One thing I really enjoyed was the aliens' design and how unique they look. I like the fact that Garrett was an alien. It shows that, okay, this is why this character is so weird. This is why this character is always around Sarah and Ava all the time, because, he's gathering information. He abducted her. And also, I did like the latter half of the season when Sarah came back to the team, and then we actually had actual episodic episodes with them taking down aliens together as the Legends, but then they also incorporated some family themes into the mix. We also have a board game episode, which turns out to be a murder mystery episode. A lot of great, interesting concepts happen inside of this season, and I think out of all of the Arrowverse shows this year, the budget for this show was bigger than the other shows. Constantine, again, is just great, and I loved his struggles with his magic and, his addiction to that. Katie Lotz is still great as Sarah Lance. She's still great as the White Canary. They're still going weirder. They're still doing some more bold things, some interesting things, some fun things, but this season had a lot of bad on its palate. The bad thing that comes to mind here is that this season didn't have that urgent week-to-week value about it. Now, other Arrowverse seasons, they really didn't have that about them either, but I still watched Superman and Lois back-to-back. I still watched Flash back-to-back. And Batwoman, I tried to keep up after the 5th episode, but then after that, I just fell off. With this one, I tried to keep up after the 6th episode. I fell off after we found out that Sarah died and she was a clone. So from that episode, from like episode 6 and onward, I didn't watch the series week to week. It just didn't have that urgent value to me because of how episodic the episodes were. Yes, I do love the singular episodes, but overall, as a story, as an overall season, it didn't feel as unique as season 5 or as season 4 or even season 3 was of Legends. I just think that this season as a whole just did not work that well. In fact, I never realized how vital it was to need Sarah on the Wave Rider, because in all honesty, the season was mid to bad, the episodes where Sarah wasn't on the ship, but when she was, by herself with the Bishop, I do like the Bishop character, by the way, but when she was by herself with Bishop, I thought all of that was pretty great. I do love a prison break story, so I did like Sarah, trying to get off of that alien planet and to get back home. But when it was just the Legends themselves, the team, I didn't find it to be interesting at all. After we learned that Sarah died for the bajillionth time already, it becomes a Constantine-centric story. It becomes a Constantine-centric season. And yes, I do love his struggle with his magic. But that's not put to the back burner. It's front and center. This is a show about the Legends of Tomorrow. This is a time-traveling show. And other seasons of Legends have that theme of time traveling in it, but in this season, they didn't do that. Spooner, as a character, didn't really care for her as much. Astra, I like her a little bit, but in some episodes, especially the ones where they have her going on missions, hated her. Did not like her character at all. She just messed up the mission always because she was always doing something devious. Whereas when we first see her first centric episode to herself, it's an animated episode. It's a nice episode because it's about her trying to be a mortal person. Man, did they drop her character after Sarah came back. And also Nick and Bayrod. I love Nick and Bayrod. I love them from season 5. Pushed to the back burner inside of the season. There's one Bayrod-centric episode in the season, and I did enjoy that episode, but they're pushed to the back burner. Nick doesn't even steal up anymore, so this season had a lot of bad things about it. It had a lot of good things to me. I did love some of the things that they did inside of this season, but they had a lot of bad things, especially that Zari 2.0 and Constantine relationship. Didn't care for it. I did not like that relationship at all. In conclusion, DC's Legends of Tomorrow Season 6 was a fine to mid-season. It not the worst Legends season I've seen, but definitely a lower half of the series. Aliens are usually interesting, and a lot of things interesting happen inside of the season that warranted it to be great in the future, but ultimately they kind of wasted their ideas by making it more of a Constantine-centric show like they did with Season 4, but with Season 4, that worked out for the story. And this one didn't really work out for the story because they went from aliens to fountains and Constantine turning into a mushroom. Legends of Tomorrow Season 6, I'm going to give it a B- and a 7.9 out of 10. And I would say you could just skip this season, just like you can kind of skip Season 7 of Flash, but you can watch certain episodes inside of it if you want more Legends. Ultimately, I would say just skip it. Alright guys, that is it for the review / recap / rant about Legends of Tomorrow Season 6. Please note that everything that I did say in this video was just my real opinion, and you're free to comment down below. What did you think of Legends of Tomorrow Season 6, the finale, and also the season as a whole? Like, comment, and subscribe. Please don't forget to check out that Arrowverse playlist. That link is always in the description. Don't forget to come back in the next couple of days for a ranking of all of the seasons of Legends of Tomorrow. In fact, that is my first original video that made 1K, my last Legends of Tomorrow seasons ranking. But with all that being said and done, I will see you all next time. Peace.